crashed that car, and so picked up this bad boy instead. I had a Mazda 3, a hatchback in 2019. It was fucking beautiful. Fucking mint, as they would say. And I crashed it in the snow, and so now I have a Mazda CX-5 instead. It's really fun. I was just telling the
All right.
about I was telling them about how I crashed my car.
Oh, word. Yeah. So I think I figured out what the problem is. So my mic has noise suppression, right? And that vent, that vent right next to me is going constantly, and it's loud as fuck. So when I'm talking, it also picks up that and tries to suppress my voice and the AC at the same time.
Put a blanket on it.
I'm gonna put a blanket on you. Don't worry, I just turned it off for now.
You fat. Put a blanket on it.
Put a blanket on it. I opened the window. Okay, whatever. Let's go. So,
what the fuck did I just do?
You good?
Hold on.
And the AC
at
the same time.
Put a blanket on it.
I'm gonna put a blanket on you. Don't worry. I just.
I'm trying to. I got the stream up on my phone or my computer. No, we're good. Okay, so you want to go into the introduction of what we're talking about today, or I can lead things off? It's really it's just kind of chill.
Yeah. So, you were talking yesterday. You said, so you recently gotten into the university life, correct? The college life.
Community college life.
College is college.
For those who don't know anything, so everyone, I didn't plan on going to college. I was just gonna try and open my own company, and I decided to go to college. Long story short,
so
there's a lot that happened. A bunch of different things went down. I had a great little mini adventure of a lifetime almost, and I decided to go to college and get it done. For a few reasons, mainly being just it's going to be some time of stability in my life, and I really am excited for that. Although we're going to get into a few crazy things today, we're going to play some devil's advocate on that. We're going to talk about how is school maybe not the best place to be. What are some of the dark and maybe secretive conspirative things that are happening at these schools? And then we'll talk about the light side, which is really some of the great things that I'm taking away from my experience.
Yeah.
And so, Jake, I know you're in college too right now. So if you wanted to start it off, maybe talk a little bit about your experience so far, and then I can relate with my experience.
Of course.
I'm about 2 weeks in, so
yeah.
I'll probably not have as much experience as you.
Yeah. So my college journey is actually interesting. So it actually started 2 years ago. After I graduated, and I went to the Culinary Institute of America in California, because that campus was way smaller than my high school, our high school technically for the most part. So I went there for a semester, and I realized I completed it, but I realized that it was way too much effort for just one semester. So I made the choice to take a semester off and work in the restaurant industry, and quote unquote, the food service industry, and
the dough tossing industry.
Exactly.
I'm in it now.
Huh?
I'm in it now.
Oh, really? Where are you at?
Started learning to toss dough and stuff. I make pizzas now.
Let's go. All right, bringing out that inner Italian. But after that, I went back, and now I've been here for about a semester. We just started the second semester, and it's been going great. Definitely been going great. Definitely have more skill, more practical use, more experience, more teaching, confidence.
Talk a little bit about what you're doing there. What kind of classes are you taking? You're in culinary school, so I feel like that's something not a lot of people know about the daily life of a culinary student. Tell me, what's the day in your life?
So here's what a typical day looks like. I'll wake up at around, since I have no classes in the morning, I learned that's the way to go. That's definitely the way to go. Since I have no classes in the morning, I'll get up around 10 a.m. or something, get breakfast, really good breakfast. Like you can get like if you like biscuits and gravy, you can get premium restaurant grade biscuits and gravy at like
Hell
10 in the
yeah.
morning. Yeah. You can get that good shit at like 10 a.m. That quality food goes into your stomach, and then after that, I'll take a shower, and then I'll see what class I have for the day. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, oh boy. So I'll have Spanish because they have you take a language. And then after that, around 1:30-ish, I'll have my a la carte class. And in that class, that is the class where the cooking actually happens. So in that class, it's a
Out of curiosity, what does a la carte mean?
A la carte means basically to the order. So like we cook food by order. You order something and we make it for you. So that class is actually 7 hours long, and that's because it's split up into 3 parts. You have prep, which takes a few hours, prepping all of that food. Then you have the actual production section, which is the cooking. That's about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then you have cleanup and then the final lecture.
Oh, so so you make food and then you get lectured on it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I know, right? Immediate feedback. I actually like the immediate feedback because since it's individual production, all the mistakes are yours, so you know what to work on.
That's really interesting. So yeah, it's kind of like it's almost a form of gaslighting you into cooking well.
Exactly. When you put it like that, and gaslighting, that's a pun because gas burners lighting. Anyway, but anyway, yeah. So I'll get out of class. We'll be lucky actually to get out of class by 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
And that's being lucky. Like the other day, we got out at 9:30 because we don't know how to clean. So
got out at 9:30.
Oh man, but yeah, that's a day in my life. And then on other classes, I'll just have my menus class where we learn how to design and plan a proper menu for your restaurant. And then you'll have your history, quote unquote history class. In my case, this is the gastronomy class, which is the study of the history of food. It's pretty dope. So yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about like where you intend on taking that. What do you want to do?
So from then on, after I graduate, I'm gonna try to start somewhere small, like a resort or maybe just a regular restaurant. A resort's not that small, but like something.
So how does one get a job at like a resort?
Yeah, so for that, you would have to really, really build your resume. And I mean really build your resume. In fact, you'd probably have to work at least like an entry-level job, like a small dine-in restaurant or like an Applebee's or something like that, as like a line cook or something like that. You'd have to have at least a year or 2 of that under your belt. And then you would, submit an application, talk to some higher ups, not really higher ups, but managers, GMs, owners, all that stuff. Talk to one of them, maybe work something out, and then schedule an interview, and then things would go from there. So you got to build up that experience, at least a year or 2. There are some people that'll jump in off the rip and they'll, psych themselves out. They'll be miserable, start struggling, all that stuff, and then yeah.
So like, let's say I decided I wanted to stay at my pizza delivery job for a year. You're telling me I could then go and like fucking get a job at a resort?
Nope. Because so there are different sections of the kitchen. You have the transportation, which is what you're in, the distribution, like Cisco, PepsiCo, all those big trucks. And then you have the front of the house, which is the people who take your order, waiters, hosts, all that stuff. And then the back of the house, which is line cooks, prep cooks, dishwashers, all that stuff, fryer, grill masters. That
hear me out.
Yeah,
I clean the dishes, deliver the food, make the food, take the orders. I do everything. What does that make me?
Hold on. So you take you take the orders?
Yeah. Everyone. Not everyone's a driver, but everyone just does everything.
Huh. That's a different kind of kitchen. I have no idea, but it's all
It's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place.
Yeah, of course, it sounds great. But I don't know.
Very weird.
I'm not sure how they would take that, because I've never. That's an uncommon situation.
Yeah, what if I was like, listen, I did everything, make me manager
For how long?
for a year.
For a year? Yeah, they're looking for like 2 years, bud.
2 years? You got
They're looking for 2 years.
Shit, dog.
Yeah, they're looking for like 2 years. I've been doing this shit since 2021.
It's gonna set you back about $250. It's gonna cost you a good one, alright?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of cost, that's another thing. This job pays well. So if you can get, for example, there's a resort that my school is partnered with called Four Seasons, and they offer line cook positions starting at $30 an hour. It's pretty good.
You should be a salesman for them.
It's pretty good. Salesman. What if I want to be on the line,
Voice the commercial. Voice the commercial. For $2.99, you can now receive a premium made table or bedside service. No. bedside service for $2.99 per yeah, bro,
dish.
I can't be doing that shit off the dome. Oh my gosh. Something I wanted to tell you about. This is totally off topic, and this is as if we were on a FaceTime call, because I'm just bringing it up. Literally, this has nothing to do with anything we're talking about today. But, oh my god, dude. Fucking, I've been reading my book last night, and oh my gosh, I figured out something very interesting. So the Illuminati, as I said previously, they would be considered the enlightened ones, right? Okay, get a load of this. I don't know exactly what this means, but in the book they mentioned the Rothschilds.
The Rothschilds?
Yes. And the Rothschilds having prominent involvement in the Illuminati.
Explain. What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean involvement?
So the Illuminati, the enlightened ones, this scientific group of people that are also depicted as satanic. They are
dystopian, yeah.
They're dystopian. They want to have a one world government, and they're prominently found in the banks and colleges of America.
It's basically NATO at this point.
That's kind of that's where you would get to eventually. You'd have to make some type of a concrete connection to NATO.
Of course, yeah.
What I'm looking for right now would be some type of a concrete connection to Illuminati involvement with the construct. I'm trying to use the right words right now. With the construct
trying to avoid
of
getting
the United
canceled.
States. No, I don't give a shit about being canceled. I'm just trying to make sure I'm saying it correctly.
Of course, yeah, I know that was just a joke.
It's making sure that there's concrete evidence that would kind of match the Illuminati to the construct of the United States. So all of like the framework of our country, I'm trying to figure out and match it with the goals and intentions of the Illuminati. Because at this point, I have no evidence, but I'm convinced that the Illuminati plays a prominent role in today's day and age, and that fucking nobody knows about it. So I've been just learning a lot of history about the Illuminati, and it's very, very interesting history.
What sources have you been using?
So I've been using so I don't actually know the source exactly. I would have to figure it out.
Yeah, just like a general idea.
So
don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole.
No, it's a quick look up. I have to figure out the source of the book. How do you spell sources? SOURCES. Sources for Dan Brown's Demons and Angels. All right, let's see. Like its sequel, Angels and Demons is filled with historical and other factual Oh, so I have one thing in specific that we can talk about, because you're kind of right. This is going to take forever to find the example of. But one thing I can point into would be, I'm going to look this up, is Galileo.
Mr. Geocentrism.
Galileo's court case with the church. So Galileo, a supposed prominent member of the Illuminati in the 1630s, he essentially went in against the church in the authoring of a specific book that the church had previously. It was the book in which he declared that the earth was round.
Yeah. Oh.
He had his depiction of the round earth, and the church said you have to also have a depiction of our image of the earth, which wasn't accurate. And he may have even ended up including it in the text, but something about the church, they really didn't like it, and so they put him on house arrest. And essentially what happened in this time,
well, holy fuck,
Galileo essentially went against the church, and the church didn't like that. And I'm using Galileo specifically because he would be what's known to be a member of the Illuminati. And this is actually interesting. I want to do some research right now. I'm going to just say, was Galileo, oh, there's one here, part of the resistance. Galileo was an astronomer and scientist during the Italian Resistance period. He pioneered the scientific revolution that flowered in the work of Isaac Newton. But I want to switch from to Illuminati. Let's see. Was Galileo instantly? This is actually cool. A lot of less stuff shows up. But let's see. This is scholarlypublishingscollective.org. Would that seem like all right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because there's plenty of .org shit that people commonly use, so you know.
This is a document. No, I'm probably not gonna read this. Hold on. I don't know what book this is from, but this is labeled Brotherhood of the Illuminati, Milton Galileo, and the Poetic of Conspiracy. Michael Lieb, I think, was a poet.
I'm not looking it up, but I'm looking into this a little bit. Milton Galileo, yeah, and the Poetics of Conspiracy, yeah.
But I'm getting back to Angels and Demons.
Oh, this is from PSU.
I want to find something away from Angels and Demons. What's PSU?
Pennsylvania State. Penn State.
Where did you find that? What did you look up?
I looked up Brotherhood of the Illuminati, Milton Galileo, and the Poetics of Conspiracy. I looked at an article on it, and it's from Penn State. Oh, and of course I need to fucking sign up to read it. God.
Let's see. What about researchgate.net? Would that be okay?
ResearchGate? I've never heard of that. ResearchGate.net.
You have to request the PDF.
It's retarded.
We're gonna find this. We're gonna start.
Stupid.
This is the time. I don't care if this is a waste of time, because this may even lead up to a legendary clip, but we're gonna start researching the Illuminati right here and now.
Okay. Let's go.
I'm determined. I don't care if this stream goes on for a fucking goddamn year.
We could go on for years.
Let's see. Oh, I understand why I kept seeing angels and demons. That's the name of the book, but that's also the name of a poem, I think.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna look up Milton's Angels and Demons. What's Salisbury University?
Salisbury University? I have no idea what that is. Anyone know what it is? Chat. Oops,
Study of
Anyone know
Milton's
what that is?
major works and purpose. Which means nothing. Okay, so this is a .edu. It's the keep eiu.edu. Does that mean it's reliable?
Yep.
Usually.
Yeah.
Okay, so Angels and Demons, Milton in the 7th century Cosmos. Text, John Milton, the major works, E.D. Stephen Orgel. I don't even know what that means. Just look at 1603 to 1660.
1603 to, so that's 57 years.
Course description. I'm just going to read. Course description and learning objectives. A major author course presents you with a unique opportunity to engage in a sustained study of a single author and his or her works. To develop a sophisticated... Oh, so this is like a college course. This is a syllabus, I think.
Well, yeah, it's .edu, so it's from an educational institution, most likely a university. So, yeah, chances are.
I'm trying to see. Then what the fuck does that mean?
Well, that means the school took the time to, like, I guess, look at this or study this. They even published an article on it, apparently.
It's 17th century, right?
Yeah.
John Milton. John Milton was a 17... Yeah, he was a poet.
There you go.
And that's what I mean. I learned that from the book. So
Yeah.
it is accurate. John Milton was a 17th century, in some ways. John Milton was
of course.
a 17th century historian and journalist and poet, born on December 9th, 1608 in London, England. He was best known for his writings of Paradise Lost. Milton first planned to become a priest. He studied at Cambridge and afterwards decided to abandon this path and become a full-time poet and writer.
Shit. Wow.
Oh,
so that
again,
means
just like Galileo, what did John Milton do in the Renaissance? Renaissance literature is known for the elevation of the sonnet form and the drama. John Milton, a poet and scholar, influenced the period by using or ushering in the return to the epic and longer poetic form. Milton wrote in a variety of poetic forms, including sonnet, and is best known for just this specific poem.
Mm-hmm. So he's a one-hit
Paradise
wonder.
Lost. I'm gonna look up, was John Milton in the Illuminati?
Not something you look up every day.
Bro, I'm gonna be on so many watch lists.
Yeah, I know. Bro's being looked at. He's being watched by the Pentagon as we speak.
Okay, listen to this. When Milton met Galileo, the collision of cultures that helped shape Paradise Lost. A transformative visit to Catholic Florence inspired the Puritan poet to write his epic masterpiece.
His epic masterpiece, huh?
It was an epic poem with a daunting reputation that has struck fear into the hearts of many students of English literature. Recounting the fall of man and Adam and Eve's expulsion from the Garden of Eden, Paradise Lost cemented the reputation of its author by staunchly Protestant poet John Milton as one of England's literary giants. So this is describing him as a Protestant.
So yeah, I'm gonna say they're painting him in a very high light from what it looks like.
A Protestant is a Christian, so that would not match with the idea that he's in the Illuminati. Because the Illuminati would be anti-religious, if that makes any sense.
Against the church.
The 10,000 line poem.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Hold on. Say that again. I need to rehear that. Say that again.
The paragraph starts with the 10,000 line poem.
10,000 lines? How?
I thought the poem was 4 lines.
How in the fuck? That's a haiku. How in the
Oh, yeah.
How in the fuck? 10,000 lines? That's assuming, assuming each line is only one word. That's still 10,000 words.
Well, and listen, the 10,000 line poem is
Holy
regarded
shit.
as one of the most defining contributions to the English canon.
The English canon? That's pretty sick.
A work to be mentioned in the same breath as those of Chaucer, Shakespeare, and Dickens. I only know Shakespeare, but that's still crazy that
Charles
he's
Dickens?
historically on the same level as Shakespeare.
That's pretty funny.
But 350 years after its publication, some rather surprising influences on the Puritan immigration of its author have emerged.
Wait,
The result.
you never heard of Charles Dickens?
Charles Dickens. Oh,
He's the Scrooge guy.
Now that I know the first name.
Yep.
What is he worked on?
He's the Scrooge guy.
He made Scrooge.
Mm-hmm. That's his
Ebenezer
most.
Scrooge?
That's his most. Yeah, that's his most. A Christmas Carol is his most famous work.
That's nuts.
Yep.
So listen to this. The Puritan imagination of its author have emerged. The result of a little-known journey the poet took to the heart of Catholic Italy in preparation for a Radio 4 documentary In Search of Paradise Lost to be broadcast. Oh, that's just like an
ad. Bro's gonna start reading a whole ad, and then he's gonna be like, "Wait a minute, why do I want to buy an OxyClean?"
Oh shit!
What?
So this is contradictory of the Protestantism, unless I'm not defining Protestant right, but I'm pretty sure that's still Catholic.
Or unless you're wrong. Yeah,
well,
no,
maybe not.
Protestant versus Catholic.
Protestant is more like you believe in God, but not the rules, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Protestant groups tend to deviate from tradition.
Yeah, so listen to this. Milton has described Catholicism as the worst of superstitions and hairiest against the sculpture.
So what does he mean? So when he says the worst, what does he mean by the worst?
The worst of superstitions.
Oh, okay. Interesting. The worst of because like superstition is, like a belief that can kind of an irrational belief, right? So
and the heresies against scripture.
That's interesting wording.
It's the worst of superstitions and the heresies against the scripture. But it appears he threw himself into the alien culture with gusto. While in Florence, he made friends with the Lutenist Vincenzo Galilei, the illegitimate son of Galileo, who introduced him to his father, who had who had been convicted of hearsay.
Oh shit. Wait a minute. So that means
So when Galileo was on house arrest, he went to visit Galileo in his home.
Galileo
he
went
met
to
his
visit
son.
Galileo.
No, this guy. What's his name? Milton.
Milton went to
While
visit.
in Florence, writing his most famous poem, went to visit Galileo,
You know
who
who?
I believe was a prominent member of the Illuminati.
You know who
And
was also in Florence at that time doing
Really
crazy
quick-
shit?
Oh, who?
Da Vinci.
Yeah, Da Vinci. Oh, big time, brother. Oh,
Yep.
And listen to this. By the way, what we're doing right now is just gathering facts.
Yeah, this
We're
is just gather. Yeah, this is all just.
We're not drawing any connections or anything right now. We're just kind of, because you'll see, we did this with the egg theory. I just spat information at Jake for a year, and then he finally believed
And
me.
then see this is proof, guys, that if you just say shit repeatedly at someone, they'll eventually fucking start to consider it.
Well, I think a better way of saying that would be, if you really believe in something true enough, you can just tell someone enough.
Of course, that's what I meant. I obviously yeah.
But isn't that nuts? I'm gonna keep reading that.
Keep going.
The meeting of the two of the finest minds of the 17th century, one from the arts, other from science, left a deep impression on Milton. It's such an extraordinary thing to picture the two of them crossing paths. People who you think of as being two entirely different worlds, especially now when we tend to separate science from literature so dramatically. Mashenska said, whoever Mashenska is.
Yeah. Never heard of that
pays
name.
Tribute to the astronomer in several passages of his masterpiece, including one where the angel Raphael. Oh, so it's about an angel. That's interesting. Raphael is granted a clear view through the heavens, this is, I think, this is a quote. So I'm gonna read this. But it's not gonna make sense because it's like old language.
Mhm.
As when by night the glass of Galileo, less assured, observes imagined land and regions in the moon. As when by night the glass of Galileo, less assured, observes imagined lands and regions in the moon.
That's gotta. Ooh.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, but it sounds so. Obviously, the old language is throwing me off a little bit, but it sounds. What was the last line?
The last line was observes imagined lands and regions in the moon.
In the moon. Observe.
But he doesn't say he's imagining it. It says he's observing it. Observing imagined lands.
Yeah, that's such weird. It's such weird phrasing. Oh my god. Observe, because like you can't observe something. Oh wait, no. He says imagined, not imaginary.
Thinking about it in theory, us thinking about, like, I'm just gonna use the egg theory because that's what I know. Like, we're observing imagined lands by doing that. So that could be a form of like theorizing.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a way of talking about theorizing.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, he said imagine, not imaginary. So yeah, I was gonna say you can't observe
imagined lands and regions in the moon.
There's multiple ways to interpret that, obviously, but
I'm not the best at grammar, so I don't know. I'm not a language expert.
This guy.
I'm gonna keep reading. The poet is also believed to have visited Benedict Monastery at Vallombrosa, nearly 20 miles from Florence, and also mentioned in Paradise Lost. In the book's beginning, Milton describes the fallen angels strewn across the floor of hell, who lay entranced thick as autumn leaves that strew the books in Vallombrosa.
Hmm.
Milton describes the fallen angels strew across the floor
fallen
of hell,
angels.
who lay entranced as autumn leaves that strew the books in Vallombrosa. I want to know what he's saying.
Yeah,
so bad.
I know. I'm trying to like interpret this as you go, but like it's weird.
I'm gonna just keep going because that's the best way to learn.
Yeah, just keep going, I guess.
Would one of the greatest poems in English language have turned out differently had he not visited Italy? Moshenska has no doubts, believing the Italy that Milton experienced in his youth was a well upon which the older poet drew from of his most evocative, detailed passages. So that they're just really complicatedly saying that when he was young, his experiences in Italy
pretty much
inspired a lot of his work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's this fascinating tug of war in Milton's mind between a very bookish and scholarly mindset where he sees the world through the wisdom of the ancients and all the classical mythology, and his total fascination with the immediacy of the world around him.
Solely, ooh, okay, hold on. I think is that it?
No, there's so much more.
Okay.
In visiting several of the regions that would one day comprise modern Italy, Milton was following in the path of Chaucer and drawing inspiration from a country that fired the immigrations of two other giant English literatures. I don't know what that means. There has
People
long
that I guess
been
English authors. Another name for authors back then was literatures because they're writing literature.
So they're saying here that also Shakespeare and Dickens would have visited Italy for inspiration.
Oh, so it's like it's like Italy is like calling out to these specific people.
I want to look up more. Milton. Oh wait, what was it? John Milton?
Yeah. Wait.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, John Milton. John Milton, William Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, those guys.
Join Illuminati Wealth, New World Order for.
Wait, they're advertising? They're like,
No,
join.
I'm gonna click on the Illuminati ad.
Oh my god.
OpenDataSus.com.
That is what the that's sketch.
Wait, it's .gov.
Dot.
What? Jake, I'm not kidding.
A
It's
government website?
OpenDataSus. sawday.gov.br/th/user/VB.
That .br means it's in. Wait, what country is that? What the?
This
what
is like
country
Middle Eastern.
.br is.
It's all in Middle Eastern. I'm on some.
That's
weird-ass
Brazil.
website. I'm gonna get like fucking killed, bro. What does this mean?
Oh, but hold on, go up. .gov. Yeah, dude, you're on a Brazilian government website.
Bruh, let's check it out. Brazilian Illuminati government website. What the fuck?
Oh,
So much information.
Oh my motherfucking god. Is this where wow. We're really going down the rabbit hole this time. And you're supposed to be talking about the public
I don't want to
education.
get. I don't want to get killed.
Bro's gonna get like drone striked in the next half
I
hour.
don't want to get killed. How to join Illuminati wealth. New world order for fame, riches, power. Glasgow, Canterbury, Bath, Norwich, Badford. Join Illuminati. Sunderland, Wolverham, Eton. What the fuck? Join Illuminati, Carolina, Barkley, West Viborg, DR. What the fuck?
Hell. What
Scotland.
the fuck?
Join Illuminati, Sheffield. How to join Illuminati, Portsmouth, Exeter, Peterborough, Milton, Keynes. What is this? How to join Illuminati, Oshawa, Surrey. These sound like places.
Their names,
How to
but
join Illuminati, Utah, Ontario, Salt Lake City, Scotland.
Scotland,
Klingberg.
of course, Scotland.
How to join an Illuminati, New Malden, Balmy, UK, Johannesburg. Join Illuminati in Petroya, Bodella, Cape Town. What the fuck?
There's so many.
Bro, I'm tripping sack right now.
What the hell is going on?
So currently it's saying, okay, now there's like real word. The Illuminati is an elite organization of world leaders that operates above geographical and political restrictions for the benefit of human species. While our daily operations
No, it's not. It's
remind
hedonism.
Bro, should I be reading this?
I have no idea, but it just it sounds like hedonism to me. So
Listen, are you comfortable with me like continue reading?
go ahead.
While our daily operations remain confidential for the safety of our members, we strive to create a better understanding between us and those we have been entrusted to protect.
Huh.
What is the Illuminati? The Illuminati is both plural and singular. All are one. We are all.
Yeah, that's what. Oh.
Dude, tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm right now.
No, but
Right
here's
now.
the thing: the Illuminati isn't real.
You're telling me that, but I'm continuing to not believe you.
Okay, fine. I'll
I'm
continue.
gonna just keep reading. But I want to emphasize that the supposed Brazilian Illuminati said that we are all one and one all.
That's what it means. That's because it's a cult. That's what a cult is.
The Illuminati organization is
It's a
an elite
cult.
Listen. The Illuminati organization is an elite collective of political leaders, business owners, entertainment celebrities, and other influential members of this planet. By uniting leaders of the world in an unrestricted private domain, free of political, religious, geological boundaries, our organization helps to further prosperity of the human species as a whole. Managing the lives of over 7 billion humans is a daunting task.
8 billion.
For this planet is to span. It has spanned across centuries and survived even the most established government entities. Benefits of the Illuminati, and there's still just phone number. They keep putting a phone number. There's a phone number here. The Illuminati interprets as the Prodley of Light, the Enlightened Ones, is a secret society that was founded in the late 17th century. Bro, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my god.
And has since gained immense popularity. It was a Freemason
Because
society.
it's a myth.
It
Bigfoot,
was a
bro.
Freemason society. But the members felt there was religious conflict between members of the Illuminati. Were unbelievers. Speculation suggests that the Illuminati has continued impact on the society forming new. Oh, so this sounds like it's not the Illuminati.
Yeah, what?
That last part, that last sentence, speculation suggests that the Illuminati has continued impact on the society. That sounds like from someone else's point of view.
But here's the thing. All this is describing the Illuminati like a cult. Remember,
Correct, it is. I don't support this, bro. I'm just mind boggled right now.
and also
It's just
big
a cult with all world power probably knows why we're here, or maybe, and
don't
it
exist.
appears that they think we're all one.
Bigfoot has the same popularity as the Illuminati.
Yes, but Bigfoot doesn't have any historical founding.
Because it's a myth.
There's no stories of Bigfoot meeting and sitting down with a real person with real, like, historical influence.
Because it's a myth.
Yes, exactly. But there is historical evidence of Illuminati members meeting with real historically influential people.
Okay, and there's a difference. I'm just saying the
Yeah.
popularity argument doesn't fly.
That's like the whole argument against the Bible being historically accurate. It's like, no, it's not, but it's just as historically accurate as any book that wrote about George Washington. Like, no one was
True,
there. We're
yeah.
just going off like other people's word. Does
We're
that make
going off
sense?
what we have. Yeah.
Yes. And so if you're talking about that, like, that's called like it's
Straw
a
man.
very it's like it's putting the conversation in an arm hold, because at that point I can just go and talk about relative nonsense. You have to stay within the bounds of the logic of the conversation.
Yeah, yes.
But
I was just pointing
I'm
out the
with you.
difference and how that
No,
argument would
totally.
work.
Well, and it's under the acknowledgement that what I'm talking about right now, I don't even believe in. I don't believe this is true. I'm more just researching right now.
Yeah, you're just
I
reading
think
shit.
I think that there's a valid chance, though, that this could all be backed by somewhat legitimate information. And if it's not true, the idea that this could happen, I would argue it's likely that some form of it is already happening. Given to the I don't like using this word, but social political, like, climate.
The social contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just based off of like how society is behaving right now,
Mhm.
and knowing that cause and effect is a thing that happens, you have to think, okay, what's causing these effects?
Yeah.
And if you look at like the supposed agenda of all these effects, I would argue that it leads back to some type of a new world order that involves restriction of human rights, and may very well involve the reduction of religiousness in the world
Hmm.
due to a specific agenda that may have been developed later on. Because it's like, for example, in the book, I don't know if this is accurate, but Dan Brown writes about the Illuminati originally just being enthusiastic science, and it kind of transforming into a more malicious group after the church tried to destroy everyone in the Illuminati. Like, they publicly killed a lot of scientists and
Yeah.
stuff, and so they think a lot of malice was formed in that time. But originally it really was just because Satanism has gotten bad light by the church with
Obviously.
with like sacrifices and pentagrams and stuff. But
Yeah.
by definition, Satanism is just the opposition of God. And while I still don't think it's right, that's by definition what atheistic science is.
Yeah. Well,
Atheistic science would be a direct formulative opposition of God, which would be
yeah.
the science of Satanism. Like,
Yeah.
not in a gaslighty way.
well,
Not
it's the opposition of the existence of any religion.
You have to think, like, where is my argument leading? And it's leading to the fact that God's not real. What is the goal
And
of Satan?
Not just no, not God, just religion. Religion in general.
It depends on how you're pointing it,
That's what an atheist is.
Yeah, and I'm speaking specifically of atheistic science. There's agnostic science, which I think is the way to go.
Mhm.
But atheistic science is really just like, and it's hard to use the word because it's gotten such a bad rep, but it's just a form of Satanism.
That's just the actual definite.
It's not the worship of Satan. It's Satan is called Satan because he performs Satanism, which is the disbelief in God. He presses the disbelief in God, even though he knows God is real. That's what makes him evil.
So the disbelief in God, that's different from the disbelief of religion in general.
Well, I would argue that people can think that they have a soul without thinking that that soul was created by something, and I think that it's required to
That's
know.
not religion necessarily.
Yeah, but religion is the idea that is religion, and it's all very
In its core.
subjective. It's subjective because like science is a religion, but it's like anything really. Yes, science is fundamentally founded on God. Without God, science dies. In order to acknowledge, Jordan Peterson talks about it. In order to acknowledge that science is a thing, you have to assume that a few very fundamental things. You have to assume that there is an order, and that order can then be perceived, and that order has a method to it, and those methods have purposes.
There is.
So
It's called.
And so without God, science dies.
It's called. Sorry, keep going.
No, go ahead.
But do you know? Have you ever heard of the concept of entropy?
Entropy? No, I have not. Can you tell me what that is?
Yes, I would love to. So basically, to put it simply, entropy is basically lack of order, or lack of order, or like predictability, whatever words you want to use. But basically, it's the gradual decline into disorder, right?
Okay.
It's a theory, not really a theory. It's a concept that, at the moment of the Big Bang, or whenever the moment of the Big Bang, our universe was at its most orderly, correct? And every second after that, our universe is gradually declining into disorder to where it will reach a point of complete disorder, where nothing interesting, the scientific term for interesting is like when stuff happens. So basically, it'll reach a point until nothing interesting ever happens again, and our universe will be in complete disorder, absolute disorder, or complete entropy, also known as the heat death.
Yeah, well, and what if, because I this is how I think about things. I'm not putting it in any specific way, but what if that complete entropy was a benchmark or a hard point? Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's these fundamental.
I think I get.
Hold on. There's these fundamental points in our lives that we can't get around. For example, time.
Like time
is, we call them paradoxes. Sometimes we call them other things, but like time, Big Bang, the creator's theory. These are all things that we can't really collectively come to an agreement on. And I would say that there are specific events that humanity is yet to experience that define those laws. If that makes any sense.
Like the laws of thermodynamics and physics kind of thing.
So for example, if you created antimatter and you could suspend it magnetically, they talk about it in the Dan Brown book. They're talking about how they created antimatter in a particle accelerator by creating a Big Bang, and they were able to store some of the antimatter by magnetically suspending it in a vacuum so that it's not interacting with any matter, because the second that antimatter comes in contact with matter, annihilation takes place, which is the actual destruction of matter, because you live in a world of existence and inexistence. If you create or bring some of the inexistence over here, and it'll interact with the existence and begin nothingness, which would be, or somethingness. And that's where you get into another fundamental flaw. But think about the idea that, I forget where I was getting with this, but oh yeah, let's say you can create antimatter, and that you can create and destroy matter, then that would be a specific event that humans are yet to experience that would explain the Big Bang. You say, oh, that's an easy answer. Matter can be created and destroyed. Something created and destroyed us. And so we're just like, in theory, yet to experience an event of creation, or we're yet to understand it. Like, we're yet to understand it happening right before our eyes. Like, you could have a black hole and a white hole could be events of creation and destruction, and you don't know. Like, where does a black hole go? It could maybe go to the world of destruction. Where does
that's what I'm saying.
It
Black
goes to the world of
holes.
creation. It's always pushing out energy. Black holes are always taking in energy.
That's why I've always said that black holes are the key to like understanding everything.
Yeah, I totally agree. 100%. Well,
White,
think about
white
it,
holes too, of course, but mostly black holes. Yeah.
Think about it. If you maybe had
also
like,
time.
I'm thinking about it in understandable terms.
Yeah,
so, like,
of course, because like we can't.
The greatest relation to the Big Bang that I can think of would be the conception of life. So when the sperm enters the egg, let's say it's making a little hole from entering.
Yeah,
and that
of
would
course.
be the introduction.
Oh.
Like, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the point of conception, there's a spark of light. That's a discovery that was just made. Is the second that sperm comes in contact with an egg, there's a spark of light. I'm not kidding.
Hold on. Let me cook here. So,
Cook. Go on.
That's interesting phrasing there. That's so spark of life, right? What is I guess it could be others, but what is the only put that lightly? What is the only spark of life that we know in our universe?
The Big Bang and birth.
Well, yes, but stars are sparks of life, right? And what happens when a star dies? They go supernova. They explode. They go supernova, and if the star is big enough, it implodes and forms into, you guessed it, a black hole. So, what if that's when that star dies? That's the sperm entering the egg, which creates that protrusion, which is a black hole. We quite literally can't comprehend what is past that. And obviously light can escape, but that's why we can't see it or know.
And under the same logic, you can apply that in a few different ways. Since understanding that we don't understand the core like laws of that event, we can kind of play with it fictionally. So let's say that instead of birth, you were looking at a dying star as a form of a menstrual cycle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the essence that, like, let's say when a woman has her period, blood flows out along with the egg. It's like, what if the explosion of a star would just be like a big menstrual event or something for our cosmic universe?
There you go.
And the idea that like it could be anything, but I do feel like understanding and recognizing that I am made up of such small things that it would make our solar system look like a tic tac, like in comparison to like complexity. I would say the same thing could go for our universe very well. Like, why wouldn't our universe just be a construct of a higher being?
I believe, yeah. I guess you believe in the egg theory. I believe in the multiverse theory.
Multiverse theory. Well, and would I not agree with that too? Because
does the egg theory agree with the multiverse
theory? The laws of the egg theory require conception, meaning that there is other lives. Does that make sense? And so it would be a multiverse, just like in the sense that humans would be considered a multiverse. I have a
more of
in my brain.
Ecosystem.
I have a universe going on in my brain, and you have a universe going on in your brain. So what our
metaphorically,
our brains would just be alternate universes.
Well, yeah,
eternally expanding and growing until death. And then from that point, birth would then take place, in theory. Think about it, man. I don't know.
I do like that. But that's pretty sick actually. But so let's see, that begs the question, so why do our brains have a capacity, right, to hold information? Why would that be if our goal, because like you think if you put these life forms on this planet, right, and you give them intelligence, sentience, all this stuff, but you give them a capacity for knowledge. Wouldn't you want them to have, it's almost as if like you don't want them to know something. Wouldn't you want your creations to have limitless potential?
Well, again, you're viewing humanity as separate thing. Time is a very complicated thing.
Space-time.
If you remove time from the equation, let's say we never really like realized that time was a thing, then all of humanity would have just taken place at one point. We would just be considered, like, if that makes any sense. Without time, the human experience is just one collective experience.
Without time, there's no space as well.
Outside of time, well, that's where you get into like number theory.
Well, because space and time are one thing, right? So without time, there's no space.
I don't feel like you're at justice to like say that.
Space-time, one thing.
Space-time.
Space-time is one thing.
But doesn't that contradict like dimensional theory?
What do you mean?
The first dimension or the second dimension would have space but no time.
That's no. In the first dimension, there's one point. It's one point in time, one point in space.
Yeah, and then the second dimension is what?
2 points in time and 2 points in space.
And then the third dimension is what?
3. You see?
Yes.
Or 3 dimension. I guess 3 dimension. Or 3 dimensions.
And then the fourth dimension is what?
We don't know.
I would argue it's time.
You could argue it's time.
Me and Tristan talk about this a lot, and that you take a 3-dimensional existence, and then how do you layer that? You layer it by a collective of those 3-dimensional experiences eternally taking place.
So space-time.
So yeah, the fourth dimension would be space, while the third dimension, so the first dimension is, I just talked to Tristan about it. I sent him a Snapchat.
Space-time is one thing.
Listen. He hasn't opened it yet, but like, think about this. Number one equals is. I'm going to use the word God.
Okay.
Just that you understand. Listen. Quiet and listen. Number one equals God. Existence. The universe being 1 point. There was, at the moment of the Big Bang, there was 1 point. Does that make sense? So that's what the number 1 is. And then you have this cool thing that comes by, and it's called the number 2. You have 1 point, and then you have another point, and then because of that, you have the space in between it. That would be the second dimension. You have 2. And then you get 3. You have a point, and then point between that point, and all the space within it. So you can now go one direction, another direction, and then you can reverse that by 180 degrees and go that direction the other way.
That's still 2 dimensions. That's still 2 dimensions, though. In 2 dimensions, you can go forward and back. You just can't go up or down.
Forward and back. Yeah, exactly. So now I'm saying you can now go up and down.
Yeah, that's 2 dimensions.
3 dimension, you have the
up, down, forward, back, left, and right. Right.
Correct. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? The 3 different points that you can arrive at, which would be up is being closer to that third point, down is being farther from that third point, left is being farther from that 1 point, while right is being closer to that 1 point, and then forward would be farther from that 1 point, while backwards would be closer to that 1 point. Okay. You have these 3 points. And now 4, what would that be?
Or okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, so
I don't know, because the problem.
So 2 dimensions.
The contradiction to that would be that 4 is just a collection of 2 2s, and so it may be 5 or 7 that would be time, because you would need, like, I don't know what I'm talking about yet clearly, but you understand what I'm saying. Tristan's been working on this. Tristan's been working on this a lot. The numerical order to the world, which I think makes sense. I think because numbers have symbology behind them. Before they have value, they have symbology. One is this, like Carl Jung talks about it a lot. I'm gonna look it up right now so that I can, because I know you love when I look things up, so that it can be like something someone else has said rather than me. You fucking dick. But I'll look it up.
I've just been sitting here looking at you like this. Anyway, so yeah, so so can I ask you something? So when you have, I'm gonna cook you.
Carl Jung's symbolic number theory. Let's see. The natural number, integer, counting number. All these are phrases for simple whole numbers we know as well. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Integers can be so negative though.
Listen. Jung discovered that these numbers, especially the smaller ones, were true symbols. That is, each was an endlessly exhaustible metaphor. I'm gonna click on the link and see what this place is. Okay, yeah. For example, 1 is undifferentiated. What? Unity, the point, by extension to the circle. So 1 has no quality other than 1. 2 is 2 ones. 3 is 1 1 and 2 2s. But 1 is always 1. It has no difference.
Wait. 3 is 1 1 and 2 2s?
Or I mean 2 1s and 1, or I mean 1 1 and 1 2. Sorry. Thank you for catching me on that. 2 splits 1 apart.
But it's not even.
Listen, it demonstrates polarity, opposition, atheist and anti-atheist, and crosses an X. 3 is movement away from the stasis of opportunity, the possibility of reconciliation between two polarities. So you have the two polarities that you can go to, and then you can reconcile from it. I think that's what it's saying.
Okay, that's
you have your third point. The new synthesis contained within thesis and antithesis. Christian Trinity is a triangle. 4 is stability, a constructed unity. The Christian Trinity plus Mary, a square. The Christian Trinity is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
3 dimensions.
Yeah, so what if space-time? Well, because you have 1, which is Father, 2, which is the Son of the Father, and then 3, which is the Holy Spirit, the place in which the Son can move around. I would say that 3, the Holy Spirit, would be the egg, the thing that reincarnates. The Father would be the thing that created the egg, and the Son would be us, the thing experiencing the whole experience.
Okay, what is that?
In the 3 dimensions that we can exist in.
Okay, there you go. All right. Okay, now.
Well, what do you think about that?
That's cool, but what is that? What does that do?
You agree with that?
Well, I agree that there's 3. There's 3 dimensions. I know.
No, but do you agree with what I'm saying about that? Numbers have characteristics. So, like numbers, do you think there's symbology behind numbers?
Not exactly.
Okay, so then you're not running away from this conversation, buddy.
Hold on. Hold on. There's still something we need to discuss here. There's still an elephant. There's still an elephant in the room, and that's this. Okay. Space-time is one thing.
What do you mean? You've already said that.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Can you please explain that to me better?
There's 3 so there are 3 dimensions. There are 3 dimensions of space. Height, width, and depth, or length, whatever you want to say. 1 dimension of time, forward and back. That is space-time. And it's all woven into one single 4-dimensional continuum, the space-time continuum.
So you're saying time would be a representation of 2?
It's like, okay, I guess I worded it weirdly. It's like,
wait, but hold on, that's a good point, because remember when I said that it doesn't make sense that it would be 4 because it's 2 2s, but if time is a construct of a point and another point, it's linear.
Yeah, time. That's what I meant. Yeah, time is forward and back. That's 2 dimensions. That's 1 dimension. It's 2 dimensions.
2-dimensional, and then but we know that it's not the second dimension. There's attributes to time that are different from the second dimension. And what is that? Because I'm not sure. I'm brainstorming with you here because I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. So I see what you're saying. So you're saying
And
it can
whatever
move
makes
forward
it
and back.
different- Whatever makes time different from just moving forward and backward would be the attribute that makes it 4. Which I would argue, because it says here, 4 is stability, constructed unity. Maybe 4 is the eternity of point A and point B. So if you have 1, 2, and then beyond that 1, 2, you have 3 and 4, it can always be interlooping. You go from point A to point B to point C to point D, and by the time you're leaving point D, you're on your way back to point A. That's how a square works. And so what if that is the construct of time? And does that make sense at least?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're viewing a square, then that fourth dimension, that thing we don't understand.
Wait, hold on. Right there. What fourth dimension are you talking about?
Listen, the fourth dimension, time, in my opinion, that thing we don't understand. So like, you know how I can go forward and backward, or I can just go from point A to point B in more two-dimensionally in a parallel way, but we don't understand how to say, oh, I'm going to move four-dimensionally. What if fourth dimension is just that thing that always takes you back to point A?
I feel like I worded it weirdly, and that's what caused this. But I just realized we agree.
Oh, we always agree. We're just trying to figure out what each other means.
Physics. So here's. I'm gonna try and break this down as much as possible.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab a water bottle from my trunk.
Actually, me too, because I'm thirsty. Be right back, Chet. All right.
We're back.
All right. So basically, here. So what I was gonna say is that in physics, you have the 3 dimensions of space: length, width, and height, right? And then you have that 1 dimension of time. Time is the fourth, and they are collectively referred to as space-time.
Okay, I can agree with that. That space and time.
They can't be separate. They can't be separate.
No, I would argue that space and time cannot exist without space, but that space can exist without time.
You can't. There's no space outside of time.
In our world, in our brain, in our comprehension.
In this universe, there is no space without time.
In the same sense that we would not be able to experience traveling through a black hole because we would die. We would not be able to experience understanding the fourth dimension because our brains would actively split by trying to do that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, of course. Like, we literally cannot comprehend it, which is why we have to settle for the next.
You can't say that with confidence, but I think that it does make sense that they would be co-reliant.
I can, because it's incomprehensible.
I would also argue that it makes sense for space existing without time. Because if you're saying that, you're arguing the existence of eternity.
Well, no. I'm arguing that there's no space outside of time.
Well, because if you're existing in eternity, there is no time.
By existing, there is time.
But not if it's infinite.
What?
Right?
That's still what?
Like
wait, hold on. Say that again. There's no wait.
Like
if I said if you exist, there is time.
Yeah, it's like a subjective definition, I think, thing of it that we're disagreeing on. But I would say that, like, if infinity is taking place, then time is more of like a subjective definition that we've created, and that like infinity is just taking place. It's almost like a point. It's like there is no B.
If it's a point, but if it's a point, then that means it's just there. That doesn't mean it's infinite. Like
in the same sense that like one cell or one photon, the smallest little thing that we can comprehend, may still be made up of a billion different things. And so it's like,
but it's not infinite. That's the thing.
4 billion different dimensions could still just be the construct of a single point, if that makes any sense.
That's not infinite.
Just died.
PC died.
Yeah, my phone died, so I am gonna have to head out.
Oh man, okay, looks like we're gonna have to end this a little bit early today. Chat, we apologize for the technical difficulties, but thank you for everyone that
on it.
Yeah, thank you for everyone that was able to pop in. This was a great stream.
I'll be back and forth from my car and my room, whatnot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But we'll be catching you guys soon, all right?
And all right.
Go check out our other videos if you're checking out this one right now.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Check out other stuff, and have a good week. Have a good rest of your weekend, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Jake, I'll call you once my phone charges up.
Yeah, all right.
All right.